This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
We give God the glory. This is just an exciting and thrilling week. It's an honor and a privilege for me to be before you as the head football coach here at Liberty University. Because of all the vision, the prayers, and the things that have been set before us as far as the late Dr. Jerry Falwell, the vision of playing at the highest level from a football program. And I want to say thank you to all those people that have done so many prayers for many, many, many years. And now it's for to come to fruition. And it's just exciting for our fans to have that opportunity to come here and be in Williams Stadium, renovated. I think it's probably one of the most beautiful. I know I'm biased, but going to be a beautiful venue for any fan to come and watch a college football game. It's very exciting, thrilling for our fans to be able to come here and have a great time to see great football. Obviously, the Liberty Flames, obviously the opponents that's going to be coming here too, and I know they're going to be cheering in a great way because they've been very, very supportive for the 6 years I've been here, now going on number 7, even the years before that. Our fans have been fantastic, so I want you to make sure you come here and you wear your red, you be early, you be loud, and have 4 quarters of fury. And we're excited to play Old Dominion. I think the positive about this team, I love the chemistry, if I had to say, in the camp overall. I know it is. It's the best chemistry as far as we've had in training camp from the first day we were here to where we're at today. The communication between our players to players, players to coaches, and coaches to players, and so on and so forth have been outstanding, phenomenal. Now, we're going to see how it continues, hopefully, as we go through the rest of the season. So they're talking a lot of football. They're trusting each other. They're believing each other. They're communicating in a great, great way. So that's kind of what I feel about our guys. And I'm going to talk about ODU. Bobby Wilder's done a fantastic job there. Been a coach there for a long time. Has been fantastic in their transition, going from the FCS to FBS, and had some pretty good success. Done a great job with his players. They're talented, really, from the offensive line, defensive line. If I had to say an area where they really have stood out to me, has really been the up front, O-line and D-line, particularly going in this 2018 season. They're very talented. I'm going to start on the offensive side of the ball. I got to start with their up front. I think they got 4 or 5 starters back on offense. The center is very, very good. Talented young man there that can get off the ball, can drive people off the block, or off the line of scrimmage, I should say, and can do a great job of blocking. I think the other part is really their receiver, Isaiah Harper, I do believe, number 15. I mean, you'll spot him, you'll see him. He is quick, he's fast. He actually is a little guy, but he actually can run through tackles. I've seen him run through a lot of different tackles on the kickoff return, also as a receiver, doing those type of things. So those are the people that jump out. The quarterback, Stephen Williams, I believe he's going to be the starter. A young guy, a sophomore, had a fantastic last 4 ball games, did a fantastic job of doing all the things there. A left-hander. He can run and he can throw, and he's more accurate than what you think, particularly in the last 4 ball games. I thought he played extremely well. Defensive side of the ball. Defensive line. They got 4 starters back, I do believe, are projected, I should say, starters coming back. Defensive tackles or defensive ends. They're very, very, very talented, and I think they do a good job. They're causing havoc. They don't do it, I guess, in the past years, they did not do a lot of pressures. They didn't bring a lot of blitzes. So they kind of been in the past as their 4 guys up front are the ones that can handle all the pressure from that perspective. I guess the special teams, I have to go back with Mr. Isaiah Harper. I think he ran 3 kickoff returns back. So we got to make sure that we are tackling well early. And if you had to say the 1 or 2 things we're concerned about is, I think both sides, are you going to tackle well because you haven't had a whole lot of tackles, the opportunities we have, but it's still different in a football game, your first game. So Isaiah Harper is definitely somebody on the special teams, and they're solid all in their kicking game as far as that goes. As far as the injury report there, I think we'll discuss all that injury report later in the week. We'll just see how things go throughout this week here. Really, I got one thing as far as the keys. The team that runs the ball the best is going to win the football game. I think it's as simple as that. Again, O-line and D-line, whoever wins that battle, I think that's going to be the true key. I can get into all some other stuff, but the bottom line is that's what the situation is. Open up to questions.
Coach, now that it's game week, has the intensity picked up around your team in practice?
I think it's, I guess, probably attention to detail has picked up in a good way, which is good. I don't see them not focused and thinking about that. This first week, it's a combination thing. It's been an assistant coach, been a head coach, been around college football. The first week of a game, and particularly it's the first week of school, there's a whole lot of distractions that come about. This is the first time they're going to class for this semester. They're trying to figure out where it's at. They're trying to figure out what they do in all the academic situation. They're figuring out the food. They're trying to get used to what their timing is as far as what they can eat and when they eat and what time they do that. So this week is always a little bit challenging as I've been around coaching here now 28, 29 years, and you just don't know how people are going to respond because a lot of things are happening in that first week. But so far it's been so good, and I anticipate us to continue in a great focus for this week of practice.
Coach, you guys obviously making the jump this year. Is it business as usual, or do you guys feel a little bit added pressure? You know, a bigger stadium, a bigger crowd expected, making that jump to the big leagues?
No, you keep it the same. I mean, whether you got 10,000 people, whether you got 80,000 people, you still got to play the same type of game that you got to play as far as football. And it's the focus on your task in hand, where you have an opportunity to execute your plays, stay focused, stay in tune. Don't make it any bigger than what it is. Don't make it any littler than what it is. Just stay focused on your task in hand.
With the depth chart release and Katori Matthews being the projected starter for Saturday, you expect him to get the bulk of the carries, or are you going with a committee approach with him, Hicks, and Pickett, and maybe Boyd back there to see who can establish the run of the ball?
I'm going to say in general it's going to be a committee. He's going to start the football game. We're going to play 2 or 3 guys there. Hicks is going to be in the mix there, going to get some carries. Peyton Pickett's going to get in the mix there, get some carries. So we feel good about all of them. Frank Boyd, I'm not going to say he's not going to get in and play. But right now that's kind of the guys leading it at this point in time. And, we really feel good about it. We hope we can run the football, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Coach, you talked about how important the run game is going to be this Saturday. Do you feel good about the strides that you guys have made in the preseason as far as Liberty's running game?
Well, I feel good about it. As far as our O-line, I think Coach Stam has done a fantastic job of being able to get our guys chemistry-wise, continuity with the whole 5 guys. Really, we got 6 or 7 guys we feel good about playing. I thought our running backs did a good job as far as with their pad level. We talk about that quite a bit. But now we're going to get in there and, it's time to show what you're going to do on game day. And I really anticipate it to be a very, very good day of running the football.
In years past, I imagine there have been tangible goals, like win the league, make the playoffs, these benchmarks. As you navigate this transition, how do you go about goal setting in a year like this one?
Well, I mean, you got the same thing. I mean, as far as that, the only thing that's not in there as far as a conference championship, you're trying to win every single football game. And then at the end, you see where everything takes place. Have an opportunity to go to a bowl game. There's some other things got to happen. So that's been talked about really briefly because it's still got to go with execution. So you talk about those things of that nature, but that's kind of what we do is you take the task in hand, which is win every single football game as you can, and then see what happens. We're going to leave it all up to God.
Coach, how has Gandy Golden looked since he's been back and getting reps, and where's his conditioning out right now?
Gandy Golden has done a good job. He's been practicing, having no issues or what concern about him playing and getting ready to play reps. We're not going to limit him. Again, the first game with anybody, you never know how many reps they can last. You have to get in shape during the game. And so I think he's ready to go. I don't have any hesitation. He's excited about it, and we're ready to go with him.
Staying with the receivers here, DJ Stubbs or Damian King, I see listed as a starter. Did Stubbs do a lot here in fall camp to kind of elevate himself there?
I think he's done a good job. I think he's done a fantastic job as far as what he's done, and we're just going to see how it all plays out here and make some decisions as we move along.
You brought in a kicker punter, Aaron Pert, midway through camp, and you have him listed now as the backup kicker ahead of a guy like Jonah Williams, who was here back in the spring and through here. What has Aaron been able to bring to the program that you can have him in there as a possible kicker if Alex is, not able to go?
Well, I think Aaron can do it all 3. When I say all 3, he can punt, he can do the kickoff, he can also place kick, strong leg. He's been impressive. We'll just kind of play it by ear the rest of this week and kind of see what happens. But he's come in and done a fantastic job as far as getting our attention and being able to do what he needs to do as far as having a chance to be our guy.
Piggybacking off that, Alex, you mentioned he had some bumps and bruises during camp. What's his status for Saturday?
Later in the week, I'll let everybody know. We'll just see what happens.
When you took this job, did you envision that a week like this and a moment like what's coming on Saturday could be in your future?
Yes, I've always thought about the opportunity of being able to lead this team for an FBS game, and that's exciting. That's why I say it's a privilege and an honor for me to be a part of this. Again, just got to give all the glory to really all the people who have prayed. I know it's a thrill for our players, thrill for our coaches, and I know it's a thrill for our fans, to the people that are going to have a chance to witness it, be here, be a part of it, because I know a lot of prayers have been going on for many, many, many years. And like I said, to be a part of it is just a blessing.
Coach, what's the excitement level for you for this game? You've coached a lot of football games in your time. How excited are you with everything that's kind of on the line this first game of the year?
I guess for me, it's probably more excitement now. Once you kind of get into the game day and you get on the field and you're getting ready for the warm-ups and all that kind of stuff, I get more in a focus on what I need to be getting my coaches prepared to do, our players prepared to do. So I think throughout this week, I'm going to have that thrill and that excitement. But once we get ready there, as far as running out that tunnel, there's going to be a little bit more focus. Again, it may change. Maybe it may be my first time that I may get a little bit excited as far as the opportunity and knowing what this September 1st, this game here this year is going to mean, again, for the Liberty Nation in a lot of different ways, and particularly the Falwell family.
I know you already talked a little bit about Kentori Matthews, but with him being a year older and a year further into the program now, do you feel more comfortable putting him out there with a lot more reps? And also, do you like the ability that he brings just, with explosive plays? Is that, kind of why you want to see him on the field more?
Oh, he just had a very good camp. He's had an opportunity to show us what he can do, and I think he can bring something to the table. Obviously, as a player, being able with his speed, he is one of our faster guys. I think he's fantastic in what he can do in catching the football. I think he's an all-around back, and again, we're gonna mix them all up. But the big thing, we're hoping that he can be explosive and bring us some explosive plays.
Coach, you mentioned at the outset of camp, Lucas Irons out for the year. Who has benefited the most from your linebacker spot with added reps?
Remington Green probably would stand out as far as that. I'd say Remington Green and Solomon Ajayi. Those two young men there have come in and done a fantastic job. We're going to rotate linebackers in there. But I think probably those two guys have benefited the most. I'm really, really excited about Remington Green. True sophomore, playing some good football, and I know he's excited to play, and I think he's going to do some great things.
Coach, you brought in several JUCO transfers this offseason, and looking at the depth chart, most of them made the two deep. What have they brought to the team, this summer in this camp?
Well, I think they brought some maturity. I think I have to give a lot of credit to our staff in bringing in the junior college young men. They were very mature in how they handle things, I think emotionally, mentally, and physically. Next thing was they had a great work ethic. Sometimes you bring in junior college young men, they don't have that work ethic. And I think I've seen our coaches, again, bringing the junior college kids in here. They have a great work ethic, and they have a good mental capacity to be able to do the things that they can handle. They talk in more football, and I think it's seen our guys even rise. Even some of the guys who have been seniors or juniors that have been here 2 or 3 or 4 years, they've seen the work ethic and then those guys' preparation. Those guys are thrilled, they're thankful, they're grateful. They want to know. They like a sponge. They're soaking in all the information. And so those guys who have been here maybe 3 or 4 years, I guess you want to use the phrase, they can't relax. And like I told them, we're going to play the best people. And whether you've been here 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, if somebody has shown that they can compete and help us be successful, then they're going to play. And so that has been a big plus. I think it's been great for our football team to have as many junior college kids to come in here and compete for a starting job.
Ask you about Bajor Wilson. That's a guy that you've brought up a couple of times in preseason discussions. How much do you anticipate him playing? And I know the depth chart is what it is. Guys are going to play all over the place. But how much do you anticipate him being on the field, and kind of what's his role going to be?
We don't have a set number at this point in time. He's going to play. To say he's going to play the same amount as any of the other corners, I can't state that. But he's going to play quite a bit and get in the ball game and see what he can do. Because I think also I know in the first ball game we need some guys to get some rest, that get some substitution. I like what he's all about. Very, very quick, very, very smart, physical player. So he has all the tools. It's now just trying to figure out if he can do all those things on game day, which we'll soon find out.
With the emphasis on wanting to establish the run and win the running battle, do you plan on utilizing multiple tight ends to have more of a seven-man line to really get a push and block that front seven of Old Dominion?
We're going to do a little bit of everything. Again, we got all different ways we can handle different things in that, and whatever we find that we can be successful at, then we're going to do that. There'll be times we have 0 tight ends, 3 tight ends, 2 tight ends, no tight ends, 1 tight end. So we got all different ways where we can attack it, and we just play it game by game. You never know how the game's going. You may have to make some adjustments. So we feel good about the tight end group. We feel good about where we're at, and now it's just exciting to go see us play and see where we are at this point.
Isaac Steele's a guy that we haven't heard a lot about during camp, but he's listed as a starter at free safety. What have you seen out of him during camp?
Fast, physical, intelligent, great IQ, football IQ. Can run from sideline to sideline. I like what he's all about, and he's earned it. And we're gonna see what he can do. So again, he's one of the guys that has really stood out, and I think helped raise the level of play of all the guys on our football team as far as coming into the junior college young man, and great work ethic, and wants to do his best, and I'm glad he's on our side.